We begin with a performance fit for a king. Ben Simmons did Martin Luther King Jr. proud on MLK Day, posting an all-star performance in Brooklyn. Here's more.
What has been the key to you kind of growing your game?
Just staying locked in. I'm taking it a day at a time. I know, it's not going to happen overnight. But I should stay on course, stay locked in, and trusting my teammates and my coaches.
Ben Simmons was ridiculously dominant tonight. He played some 4. I played him at 5. He had the ball. He was just multi-skilled. Used all over the place in multiple positions, ball handler, screen setter, post target. He's on the 5-man defensively. He was incredible tonight.
He did a great job of just picking and rolling and picking the spots out there, getting guys open. He was doing everything tonight, man. Like, a lot of little things don't show up on the box score. That was where he really made a huge impact also.
He's credit to him. He's amazing when he goes downhill. One of the best people at going downhill. He can finish with both hands. He can put his body on anybody, and he was rebounding at the end. So to him, he was just playing his game. He was in rhythm.
Got to continue in Toronto. Get there tonight, rest up, probably get on the floor, and then stay locked in, stay sharp. And I know everybody in here is wanting to do that.
From one kingly performance to another, LeBron James, the NBA king himself, had 20-plus in a win over the Knicks Wednesday night at his favorite place to play in the association, Madison Square Garden. He followed that with a kingly performance, a triple-double against Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets last night. We go back inside the locker room for more.
Well, there are no easy games, especially in the NBA. All these teams are going to come at us, and they know the type of position we're in right now and what we're fighting for. And we acknowledge that fact, so we're just going to come out there and compete and see where we end up.
To be linked with the greats, that means a lot to me, because I grew up and idolizing Michael, and idolizing Kobe, idolizing these guys, gaining inspiration from their craft, gaining inspiration from their stories. Being a kid that I'm, from Akron, Ohio, so that's huge. Anytime I'm linked with the greats, or I'm able to do something in my career where I'm mentioned with any of the greats, it's a pretty cool thing. But as far as looking at the scoring, I don't know. That doesn't mean much to me. Just the overall point of my game is what means more to me. Me being able to be an overall all-around player, being able to be successful on the floor, and being able to contribute to the franchises that I played for, the 3 franchises I played for so far in my career.
Yeah, we do have history, and I think that the magnitude of our relationship extends way beyond the floor, and I'm just appreciative. I've learned so much from that guy, and to see what he's doing at this age, this many years in the league, he's consistent, and that's a great player right there.
Our BronxNet cameras got to see LeBron in action both nights here in the Big Apple. He may love the Garden, but he saved his best for Brooklyn with Irving and KD in the building. LBJ had 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists in his 10th triple-double of the season. And the Lakers made a season-high 19 three-pointers to pull away and beat the Nets 128-113. The Nets will look to bounce back against Detroit Saturday night. The Knicks are looking to rebound tonight against the reigning world champion Toronto Raptors at MSG. NHL All-Star Weekend is upon us. The final game before the break here in New York featured the rival Islanders and the Rangers at the world's most famous arena. Isles posted a 4-2 final despite a late surge from the Broadway Blue Shirts. The Islanders started strong on this one, jumping out to a 2-0 lead. They never looked back. Here's more.
We've had so many games in a short period of time, and we're mentally and physically fatigued, and the break's going to do us good. So having that, if we would have lost that game in any way, shape, or form, I think it would have been a big punch to the stomach. But we didn't, and we're going to have a good break now and a well-deserved rest.
I don't think the scoreline's indicative of how well we played tonight. I thought we did some things pretty well, but like I said, a few lapses against good teams, and they're going to capitalize. So we got to shore up those things. But I do think we're worlds better than we were early in the year.
Couple good power play goals. First one is kind of a good tip in front of the net. Second one, good shot. Maybe I should have gotten that one, but that's how it went.
The Rangers will host Detroit following the break. The Islanders will return against Vancouver at home. And the New Jersey Devils are back in action after the All-Star break, returning on the ice in Ottawa. Time for some quick hitters. New York Giants legend Eli Manning will call it a career this morning. The 11 a.m. press conference for the two-time Super Bowl MVP will mark the end of an era here in the Big Apple. He certainly has Hall of Fame credentials after 16 years. Expect to see him in Canton in 2025. Speaking of Hall of Famers, Derek Jeter and Larry Walker will headline Cooperstown this summer. The announcement came down Tuesday with a press conference right here in New York on Wednesday. More on the captain in the C-list. Stay tuned. Sticking with pressers, the New York Mets will introduce internal candidate Luis Rojas today as the new manager of the ball club, replacing Carlos Beltran. Congrats go out to Bronx boy Kimball Walker. The Boston Celtics guard has been named an all-star starter in the NBA's upcoming All-Star game in Chicago. My boy, easy pass. And a shout out to Conor McGregor, who I was wrong about in his return to the octagon. Cowboy Cerrone didn't even make a minute against the Notorious at UFC 246. That Las Vegas card was pretty good. The UFC returns to action this weekend with Fight Night on Saturday night. And on a final sports roundup note, the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs are heading to Miami for Super Bowl 54 next weekend. The NFL will feature its annual All-Star game this weekend, the Pro Bowl. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a look into Derek Jeter's place in Cooperstown. That Derek Jeter did not become baseball's second unanimous selection to the Baseball Hall of Fame on Tuesday, a year after its first such selection, was something of a surprise. Jeter's failure to receive 100% of the votes, he appeared on 396 of 397 Baseball Writers Association of America ballots, offers a reminder that it's difficult to get all voters to agree on anything, even a case as seemingly open and shut as Jeter's Hall of Fame candidacy. Here's more with Derek.
This is an absolute honor. It's an honor for me to go in the Hall of Fame alongside Larry, alongside Ted Simmons, and congratulations to the late Marvin Miller and his family. This is something that is not a part of the dream when you're playing. I mean, you're playing and you're just trying to keep your job. That's first and foremost. And you're trying to compete year in and year out. And you're trying to win. And when your career is over and done with, then it's up to the writers. So I just want to once again thank the baseball writers. I want to thank my family, my parents, my sister is not here, my wife is here today. I have 2 young daughters who are too young to make it, but one day I'll be able to show them some highlights. So thank you once again.
Derek Jeter was awesome all the time, but he shined most in the fall. Mr. November himself. He played an extra season in the playoffs, 158 games to be exact. He has 200 career hits in the playoffs and 111 runs in the postseason. That is insane. Not only is he a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer, but you can make a serious case that he deserved every single vote, including the one that he didn't get. Jeter is likely the 3rd or 4th greatest shortstop ever, behind Hall of Famer Honus Wagner, and in the mix with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken and a guy that likely could be a Hall of Famer and Alex Rodriguez. But even with all of those guys that I just mentioned, not one of them was better in the postseason than Derek Jeter. And that's what it's all about, folks. You play to win the games, and few players in baseball history have done it better with the game on the line than the captain, Derek Jeter. Larry Walker got his own C-list recently. I was right about the Canadian kid, and Jeets just collected maybe his 1 millionth C-list right here on the show. Congrats, gents. We'll see you in Cooperstown. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.